Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or Carl Hungus 712, and in today's commentary, I'm going to be discussing what I fear in life and kind of how that relates to why I don't drink. And today's gameplay is actually Advanced Warfare gameplay. I've got a ton of it coming your way, guys. Lots of League play, but today's commentary, going to be playing One Shot in the background, and I think that goes along with what I want to discuss with you guys today. And just to get right into it, not wasting any time. My big worry in life is failure, and that's always been my big worry. I've worried about that ever since I was a kid, and I still worry about that today. I worry about it every day, actually, is failing at life. And for the most part, I think I've been pretty successful. But like I said, that's been my big worry. My big worry all the way through college, through elementary school, through bowling, through gaming, through relationships, romantic ones, platonic ones, anything of the sort. My big worry in life is failing at life. And like I said, again, it still is my big concern. And the reason I decided to do the one-shot gameplay is because I am a pretty good sniper. I'm good at hard scoping, quick scoping, I'm okay at. You'll see a few good clips in here. You'll see a few really stupid bad clips. But I stayed away from the one-shot playlist since it's come out until now, because I worried about failing at it. And I worried if I went in there, I'd start off a game 0-6, 0-7, 0-8, and I would just get so frustrated with myself. I'd get pissed off. I'd rage quit, and I'd use that as basically I'd use it as a stepping stone to why I shouldn't have chosen that gameplay, because again, I fear failure, and I already knew in my mind that I was going to fail at this before I even tried it, which was not the case. I've done quite well in this playlist. Yes, I've had a couple of really bad games, but for the most part, I've succeeded in it, and I've adjusted, and I've tried different classes. I've tried doing different things, and I've gotten actually a lot better at sniping in this game, and I've gotten a lot better at quickscoping in this game, and quickscoping in general. And to start off with this gameplay here, it's pretty solid for the most part. I get off to a good start. Probably going to upload a couple of gameplays for you guys using this one-shot gameplay. But like I said, I get better, and had I not gone through and tried this gameplay out and gone through with my fear of failure, I wouldn't have found out that I was actually quite a bit better than I thought I was, and I succeed quite a bit. I don't remember for certain if I finished first on my team. I know I have in the one-shot gameplay, but I do a pretty good job again, and I find out that I'm a lot better than I thought. And when it comes to life, that's one thing I think I've struggled with. I don't know about you guys. You know, let me know in the comments section. But when it comes to failure, that's, like I said, again and again and again, it's my biggest worry, and it's held me back on a lot of things. A lot of times in school, specifically in school, I've taken the easy road. I've basically chosen the answer that I thought was right. I've basically done reports on things that I know the professor will like and the teacher will like, because I'm scared that if I go out too far on the limb and do something that I may enjoy more, or something that I'm really passionate about, that I'll fail at it. And it's better to take the B that you know you're going to get than possibly taking failure, maybe taking a C or something lower, to potentially get the A+, because I'm really putting myself out there, and I'm really risking failure. But if I risk the failure, I also risk not getting that higher grade, because I'm really putting myself out there. I'm really showing my potential. I'm showing what I can do. But because I'm worried about failing, I decide to take the easy road. And like I said, again, that was one of the main reasons in college there. I remember in my final class, it was my senior seminar class for philosophy. We had to choose a topic, basically our senior thesis. This was going to be like our dissertation, but of course much, much smaller. It was a 20-page paper, 20-plus page paper, lots of sources and everything. And we had to write a rough draft for it. And my first rough draft was terrible. But what I decided to do was I wanted to talk about the problem of evil. But mainly I wanted to talk about the problem of evil because I believe that was something Dr. Gilbert wanted to hear about and something that he would enjoy quite a bit. It was something that I found fascinating and enjoyed, but it wasn't my first choice. I had a lot of other choices, but I decided to go with that because I thought it was the safe route. And Dr. Gilbert was pretty good at reading through people, what they wanted to do, what they were passionate about. And he knew that I was not passionate about this topic. He knew that a different topic would fit me better. And he kind of let me know that after he gave us back our reports. He had a lot of feedback on it, and he basically said, why don't you take a couple of days? I'm not going to accept this. Why don't you take a day or two and really find something that you want to do, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to write about. So I sat down and I read through a lot of the books we read. We read some phenomenal ones. I'll share them with you down the road. It's not really relevant to this. But after a while, I sat down and thought, one of the things I was really passionate about from one of our previous classes was the topic of love. And I decided to write about that and use all the examples out of every single book we read and how the books we've read thus far in class were not great. They were not great backgrounds for love. They weren't good examples, is what I want to say. There weren't really any good examples in the book, and here's why. And I took the definition of love, which I've talked about actually in a previous commentary, the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another spiritual growth, which was Dr. M. Scott Peck's version of it from The Road Less Traveled. Again, you guys should read that if you haven't read it. Phenomenal book about life, love, everything, friendships, all kinds of stuff. But I ended up sitting down and just taking some time and knowing that, Dr. Gilbert might not think this is a great idea, but, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to risk failing, because risking failure ends up leading to more success, and that's something that I've found true in life. If you don't risk failing, you're not going to get the best outcome. Constantly taking the safe route always never seems to work out. I mean, taking the safe route, you're going to get something decent, but you're not going to get the best things in life. And looking at that from a relationship point of view, also, I'm going to discuss that again a little bit here. Only until recently, I was always worried about asking girls out. I just, it was always a fear of mine because I always feared rejection. I always feared that, this girl's going to fucking get on Facebook and talk about how this fucking derp came up to her and asked her out, and this derp's a beau, and this is what he did, and blah, blah, blah. Well, and only until recently, I always went with the safe choice. The girl that I always knew would go with me. She may not have been the best choice for me. She may not have been the best fit for me. But, it was going to work out for a decent amount of time, and maybe even a long period of time, because that was the safe choice. Well, I found that when I actually went out there and put myself out there and went for it, I never got turned down, and it always ended up working out quite well. And it bothers me that I waited so long to do this, because, if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't go for it from time to time, you'll never get that satisfaction. You'll never find out that what you can accomplish by just simply sitting back and taking the easy way out and risking not failing by basically, again, taking the easy way out. You're saying to yourself, "Why, I'm scared of failure, but if I take this easy road, I'm going to get something decent, but I may not get something great." And risking failure sometimes is worth it, because the outcome outweighs by miles and miles and leaps and bounds the outcome of going for it and risking failure is just so much more rewarding. And that's again why I chose this gameplay today with you guys, because for me, risking that, destroying my KD, destroying my score per minute, blah, 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 if I could talk today, guys. But destroying all that, even though I don't really care about my KD or score per minute, it's nice to keep up to help my clan out. But I risked that. And I ended up finding out, you know what? I'm not that bad of a sniper. I'm not that bad quickscoping, and I'm in my smarts and intelligence and map knowledge and spawns and knowledge of spawns. It made it so much more worthwhile. And the one-shot playlist is actually one of my favorites. Now, am I one of the best snipers in the game? Absolutely not. Am I one of the best quickscopers in the game? Hell no. But you know what? Using my intelligence, using my smarts, and just going out there and giving it all I have and fucking trying and risking failing at it proved that I actually can keep up with these guys. I can keep up with a lot of the players on Advanced Warfare just basically by, putting everything I got into it. By risking failure, I found out that, you know what? I'm a pretty good fucking player at this game. I'm pretty good sniping. And that's just one thing I wanted you guys to take away from this right off the bat, is that risk, sometimes take that risk, failing at something, because sometimes your reward, sometimes the outcome is so much greater if you just risk failing and understanding that, you know what, you're going to fucking fail in life. That's one thing that's going to happen. If you don't know that now, or if you haven't figured that out by now, hopefully you do pretty soon, because I'm pretty sure you haven't made it this far in life without failing at some stuff. But don't worry, don't fret about failing like I have, and let it change your life to the point that it's changed mine in the beginning. I believe that's some of the reasons why I've had depression and anxiety issues, is because of worrying about failing and worrying about the unknown. And you have to put yourself out there. You're going to fail. It's part of life. It makes you a stronger person too. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, I definitely have, but it took me too long to figure out. But I'm glad I have. And what I wanted to tie that into is why I don't drink, or why I rarely drink, and I've never been drunk, and I can say that with a straight face. And that was one of the reasons why I haven't really been much of a drinker my whole life, is because of that unknown, that worry that if I start drinking and get addicted to this, it's gonna destroy my life. If I, just to start off before I go any further, I don't have a problem with people who drink. I really don't. I actually, I've heard people ask me, do I have a problem with people who drink under the age of 21? No, I don't actually. I think 18, what it originally was at here in the United States, I was fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. I think 18 is your risks, the benefits, you have enough background that I don't think the 3-year difference will really hurt you that much. I don't have a problem with drinking under the age of 21, and I don't have a problem with people who drink. I really don't. But for me, I guess it's always been a worry. Again, I always view it as a failure. If I start drinking, I'm gonna start to fail at life. It's gonna be a check mark against me. It's gonna hurt me in the future, and I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail at life if I take up drinking. There's been a lot of background in my family with drinking and drugs, and a lot of people have failed quite miserably in my family. But most of the people who have had drinking problems in my family have turned it around, which has been good. Some have, some haven't. But again, tying that into failure and why I don't drink, that's one of the big reasons why I don't, is because I've always worried that if I get addicted to this, I'm going to fail at life, or I'm going to end up being out of control. I'm not going to be able to think straight. I'm not going to be able to use reason and logic, and that's coming from my nerdy philosophy side. But I'm not going to be able to basically... How do I want to say this to you guys? Basically, I'm gonna, if I start drinking, if I get drunk, I'm gonna get out of control. I'm not gonna be able to make the right decisions. I'm not gonna be able to be smart about things, and that's going to lead to failure because I'm not using my logic and reasoning here. But in reality, there really isn't anything wrong with with drinking. Once in a while with my buddies, I'll have a shot here or there, I'll have a beer. But again, that's one of the big reasons why I'm not a big drinker, why I've never done drugs. I've smoked cigars before. I mean, that's the closest thing I've gotten. If you're wondering what I've smoked cigars. I have drank, and I do drink occasionally. But typically, my night out of drinking involves maybe having one mixed drink or one beer, and that's it. That's it for the whole night. And like I said, it's that worry and that fear that if I do this, something's going to happen, and I'm going to fail. I'm either going to get in a car and drive, and something bad's going to happen, or anything of the sort. But what I don't realize is that I never put myself in that situation, which I'm not able to fail, which is a good thing. But I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Why I don't drink, and basically it's because of my fear of failing at life. It's just a fear of mine. And will it be a fear I ever get over? No, I'm pretty sure I won't. But I just want to hear in the comment section today with you guys. Do you have what are your fears in life? Do you fear failure like I do? Do you worry that you're never going to live up to your potential? You're never going to live up to, your intelligence, your degrees, your life in general. Do you fear that? And I want to hear from you guys, what you think about that, because that's one thing I've always feared, and I think I always will fear, and something that I'll never get over. But I've gotten a lot better in time. I've dealt with it much better, and I've realized that I've always seemed to put myself in a pretty damn good position to succeed in life. And so far, I'd say my life's been pretty successful. But again, I want to hear from you guys. I've got some more great gameplay. My next commentary, I'm either going to discuss with you guys some more philosophical stuff like this. Let me know if you enjoy this. I enjoy discussing this stuff with you, but let me know what you guys, if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me some comments. But either that, or I want to do a walkthrough with you through some league play, playing Anchor. I've been playing some game battles too. I'm going to upload those. They have not been pretty. I've just started playing them with a new team, so we're getting used to them. But I've done pretty well in most of them. I always do well in respawns. I always play the Anchor quite well. But I'm going to do one of those two videos for you guys. But anyways, have a good night. We'll see you next video, and bow out.
UAV is online. Enemy HUDs have been disabled. Ready for deployment. Recon drone deployed. We're winning this fight.
Hostiles in the lobby!
Our UAV is online. Way to tear it up, Sentinel.